Ladies and gentlemen, we'll begin. My name is Jonathan Ledger. I'm from the Department for International Trade in the UK, and I'm the TVET specialist. We have this morning, as part of a week-long series, a showcase of technical and vocational training and education expertise. And this morning we have two fantastic speakers who are going to just showcase some of the things that they've been working on during the pandemic. May I first introduce Jason Holt, CBE, who is the co-founder and CEO of MKDL. And then following after that, we will have Victoria Horrox, who is the Asia Manager for City and Guilds, awarding organisation and LM. And at the end of that, we will have all of us back on screen, and you'll have 10 minutes for questions and answers. So we hope you enjoy our presentations this morning, and we're going to dive straight into the presentation from Jason. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan, and great to be here. Delighted to introduce MKDL to all of you. We feel it's a powerful tool in interactive learning, addressing two key challenges. One is, how do learners access learning and practical skills no matter where they are? And two, how do you assess learners' competency, ready for jobs or to progress in their jobs, no matter how remote it may be in the world? And our mission, as it's stated here, is to provide unique, inclusive and transformational experiences to learners, educators and industry using our innovative technology to create long-term impact. Overall, our goal is to make sure no learner is left behind. Jonathan, if you can move to the next slide, please. So we are a team of experts based in the UK, based in Milton Keynes, experts in learning, designers, developers with over 20 years experience. My Dr. Majid Al-Kabir has been doing this for a long time, built an amazing business which he sold a few years ago, and we're now doing it all over again, really because of the demand we're receiving from employers and from colleges and universities for this type of content. We are specialists in virtual reality, virtual environment and augmented reality. We've done this across multiple sectors, be it from construction to engineering to nursing to childcare, and I'll explain our model shortly. And this has the capacity to provide meaningful learning to hundreds of millions of people who would otherwise not have access to learning. So what's the benefit of our approach? Well, by being interactive and very engaging, you are supporting learners with their skills and knowledge. They have a chance to practice real life skills at home, at their pace. By doing it at home, as providing them with that resource, there's less of a need for classroom, less of a need for consumables and material costs, though those come down, and therefore, from a cost point of view, educationists have a much more viable business. It improves retention and success rate by being so engaging and so interactive. Learners find that they are far more likely to get to the end of their course, and by practicing skills that are potentially dangerous in the workplace for them or for others, it builds confidence massively, so by the time they get into the workplace or go back to college, they are way more confident. We know this through control studies or groups of students who used our platform and those who haven't. And yes, this complies with COVID-19 government regulations, but this, we believe, is about the future. No one is going to go back to how it used to be pre-COVID, and we are excited not just for the UK, but for the world in terms of what this could potentially do for learners. Jonathan, if we could go to the next section, please. So we take a blended approach. We are not subject matter. We work with consortia partners. We build specific to subject areas, and we create a blended approach. This doesn't replace learning elsewhere. It'll be, sorry, and just if we go back one, say thank you. It simply is a specific area within the learning journey that will help learners apply practice to the theory they've learned. And we use 3 solutions: virtual environment, virtual reality, and augmented reality. Just briefly to explain the difference, virtual reality is with a headset. Headsets are very expensive. There are many different types. And so we tend not to use virtual reality. We use virtual environment, which is simply using any device, your desktop, your phone, your tablet. This is accessible through any, and just as you would a game, using your keyboard and mouse, you navigate as the learner through different environments. And we, working with consortia partners, we build qualifications. They tell us what level they want, they tell us what they need to have as content, and we build the technology around what they need. And this provides brilliant continual professional development, ways to assess learners, and ultimately, if it's a regulated learning like plumbing or civil engineering, that can also be part and parcel of the tool. Jonathan, if we can move to the next slide, please. So I'm now going to show you these are pre-recorded. These are not the actual program. Just to give you a flavor in the short time we have. So if we can, Jonathan, press the circulation tab, you'll see that there are 7 modules here. This is if we can play that show reel, Jonathan, thank you. This is just a section, so it's about 15 hours of learning. This all underpins the virtual reality scenario I'll show you in a minute. This is obviously just about the heart, showing some animation. You'll see on the left-hand side all the different aspects to this particular module of circulation. And again, this is something that you go through as a learner, and at the end of each one of these 7 modules, there is a test. And unless you get 100%, you then have to continue practicing until you get to 100% to then move on to the next level. Jonathan, if we could move on to the next video, please. Just want to show you a little bit of augmented reality. So when we use augmented reality, it is simply a way to illustrate certain details that are important, we're told, important to the learner. So Jonathan is doing a marvelous job. It's to the next video, Jonathan, if that's possible. There's a lot of content here. And the augmented reality scenario, which unfortunately can't see, we can go into this. So this is actually a scene from a, thank you, Jonathan, if you just leave that there and just play that, it's brilliant. So this is taken from a COVID-19 ward. The learner is in full control of the tasks that are being asked. It's guided learning. Every sensory element of being a hospital ward is incorporated in this, and you are given tasks along the way. It's about half an hour, and detail is absolutely lifelike. Everything, every click that you take is being monitored, and there is, if we forward wind to the end, just towards the end of this, there is a report, and you can see how well you have done as a learner. And until you get 100%, you will not move on to the next level. So that is an example of what we've done for COVID-19, and it can be done in any language very, very easily, because as you can see, it is simply a question of instruction. If we, Jonathan, move on to the next slide, there's another example, which is electrical. Thank you very much, Jonathan. So we've done the same methodology for electrical engineering. This is done to level 3, and we worked again with consulting partners who told. So this is you with your phone, using your phone, you scan a QR code, see specific details that our subject matter experts have told us are important. There's a diode, and it's part and parcel. We don't do it for the sake of it, but it's just helpful, again, to just engage the learner. We can do absolutely anything. And if we can just quickly move to the next video, Jonathan. Sorry, this is a whirlwind tour of our technology. Then this is another scenario where you are asked to assess a home, and you have a walkthrough going through each room. Jonathan, if we could skip, go to the middle, say, of this video. Again, these are just show reels, these are not the program. This is again about 15 hours work. You have to fix an immersion heater in this particular scenario, test it, see what needs replacing, what faults are, if there are faults, how to fix it, if it's compliant with regulation, make sure there is hot water. In this case, the immersion heater is broken. In my family of 3 daughters, if the immersion heater broke, I'd be in big trouble. So through the end of this, again, you're given a score. I wonder if we can see the end score, Jonathan. If you just scroll towards the end, excuse me, just before then, you'll see learner has got 100% in this particular case. Until you get 100%, you wouldn't progress further. If you can move to the next slide. I apologize, this is just a very quick tour of this, but if we move to the next slide, Jonathan. Brilliant. So we've shown you 2 examples, another slide, if that's all right, just the final slide, please, or penultimate slide. Thank you very much. We have done 2, thank you very much. We have completed 2 examples, nursing, electrical. By end of April, we've done construction, health and social care. Health and social care, massive area for us. There are 115,000 vacancies in the UK alone for adult care. That's a huge consortia of partners. And by September, we'll have done about 15 major titles. There are 3 questions for those on this call today. Number 1, would you like to join us? We believe in partnership, and we would love to join as many partners together along this journey of learning. And if there's anything on this list that you'd like to be part of, please let us know. Equally, if there's something that you don't see on this list but would feel is very relevant to you, please get in touch. And equally, all of these are licensed at a very nominal cost, and we'd be delighted to talk to you about how they can be licensed. There is a final slide, Jonathan. You've been very patient, all of you. Thank you. This is who we are. It's a great pleasure to talk to you today. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much, Jason. Really appreciate the presentations, and I hope that the juggling between the presentations and the video didn't spoil your viewing pleasure, everybody. We will make available the presentations afterwards, so you'll be able to click on those links and be able to go and view the videos at your own pleasure. Now introducing Victoria Horrox, who is the head of East Asia for City and Guilds. Victoria, over to you.
Thanks, Jonathan. Thank you, and good morning, good day, everyone. As Jonathan said, I'm here representing City and Guilds and ILM. I cover the East Asia region, which is specifically ASEAN, China and Greater China. We have actually been based in Asia for over 40 years now. So today I'm just going to really showcase some top level achievements of our existing clients and students and skills solutions as well in the region. Next slide, please, Jonathan. Okay, so I'm sure most of you have heard of us, but just to give you a little outline of who we are and what we do. We are a world leader in certifying work skills, and we have actually been established in the UK for over 140 years, specialising in skills development and learning solutions. Our main ethos and vision is to really deliver skills and opportunities to people to support them to succeed from the start of the career right the way through the career. And we cover all key vocational sectors internationally as well. Over 2 million learners are certified in 80 countries, and we have had the Royal Charter since 1900. Next slide, please, Jonathan. Okay, so now more than ever, I feel, as a result of the global pandemic, which we've all been part of, we are really looking at skills development. Skills needs have changed, industries have changed, and we are developing at a faster pace than ever before. Next slide, please. Okay, so, oh no, is that the right slide? Next one, Jonathan, please. Yeah, thank you. So really focusing in on Cilantro Culinary Academy, that are a client of ours based in Malaysia, a very well established culinary academy, very successful, and they span not only Asia but Australia, and they're very globally recognised. So they've worked with City and Guilds for a number of years to deliver culinary and hospitality programs. The workplace environment is changing rapidly, and we are working with them to offer culinary qualifications to the Malaysian market. So I'm just going to focus on a success story, which is on the next slide, please, of Eddie Long Chun Hao, just to really show you how, you know, the journey from succeeding and achieving a City and Guilds qualification right the way through to what the career path can actually look like. So Eddie completed his level 2 diploma in food prep and cooking culinary arts from Cilantro Academy a number of years ago. Cilantro worked with Eddie. He was very successful, and worked with him to place him at the Hotel Mandarin Oriental in Kuala Lumpur, to get that employment experience. He trained extensively, won the Culinaire Malaysia competition, and had a true passion for culinary and the hospitality industry. He actually moved on from that. He won the City and Guilds Medal for Excellence as well, and actually progressed to the University of West London, where he graduated with a bachelor degree in food and professional cookery. He's moved from Malaysia to the UK and to the US within his career. He's participated in a student exchange program as a trainee at the Hotel Ritz-Carlton in Orlando. And with the skills and knowledge that he learnt, he prepared himself and fit well into, you know, the culinary industry. He worked in the US for a number of years and then moved back to Malaysia and actually set up his own really successful restaurant in Malaysia. And obviously that has come with its own challenges over the pandemic period. The hospitality and culinary industry has been, you know, one of the most hardest hit. But the restaurant does continue to succeed, and he has actually succeeded in the industry and continues to do so. So that is a fantastic success story around what can actually be achieved with the City and Guilds qualification in the culinary industry. Next slide, please. So what success looks like, so here's a photograph of Eddie winning one of his many trophies, and it links in really well with our more recent work within the global hospitality space. We have a new suite of global hospitality qualifications that are combined with face-to-face learning and online learning as well. Within that as well, we have certification, digital certifications. We work in partnership with World Chef. So here is an example of a digital badge. And I will share more information with you. I'm just doing very top level for this presentation. But if any of you do want any information on any of this, then please do reach out to me. I will now move on and just go through and give you some other examples of clients that we work with in the region and the type of skills development solutions we offer. Next slide, please, Jonathan. Okay, so we also work with TMB Ilsas in Malaysia, and we've worked with them for a number of years now. As you know, TMB in Malaysia are you know, very recognised. Their brand is big. And they approached us back in 2018 to work with City and Guilds on their programs, on their training programs through ILSAS, their training division. Really as part of their global mobility and global recognition, they wanted to work with a UK skills development and awarding body to support them to get to that next level. Already having really strong, robust training programs in place, they really wanted to work with City and Guilds on a benchmarking level to quality assure their programs and certify their programs to really support their participants with global mobility and job opportunities. So where we are now is we currently certificate and endorse TNB ILSAS's training programs specifically in renewable energy. Those are sold to the external market, but they are also internally available for their staff to go through as well as part of CPD and career development. So I would say around, well, there's hundreds and hundreds of students that go through those programs each year. And we continue to develop and work on our relationship with TNB, and they have more recently become an ILM approved centre as well around leadership and management skills. Next slide, please, Jonathan. Okay, so looking just a little deeper at our ILM offer, I wanted to just give an example of our ILM's very much our leadership and management division. And we offer level 2 to level 7 leadership and management qualifications, and that's threaded through every element of the leadership journey as well. So especially, you know, now more than ever, there's a lot of work going on in the leadership and management space, and we are working with a lot of training providers and employers in ASEAN to endorse their programs and really work with them on leadership development. Now, Stella Vinci in Malaysia started working with us pre-COVID, before the pandemic actually hit us. And we have worked with them and endorsed their leadership and management programs very recently. But in order for them to overcome the challenges that came with COVID, they had to really, really adapt their programs to be more digital and online. So we worked with them, we endorsed their programs, we benchmarked their leadership programs, but then they had to change their programs basically as a result of the pandemic. So next slide, I'll just give you an example of what that looks like. Okay, and this is just what Stella Vinci's digital solutions. They've been doing live Facebook sessions for the Malaysian market in leadership and management, and they have issued around 100 digital credentials in the pandemic period as a result of online learning, and that is an example of the digital credentials that they are currently issuing. Next slide, Jonathan. Okay, so I've talked through the type of solutions, our global hospitality and culinary qualifications, our City and Guilds endorsed, City and Guilds assured programs, and ILM leadership and management. So next slide, Jonathan. Sorry, I'm talking a lot. So I've outlined everything there. Here are my contact details should any of you want to work with us or want to understand a little bit more about what we do in the region. Please do reach out, and I'm happy to talk through anything. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Victoria. Really
Sure.
interesting to hear those studies. And, you know, it's really useful, I think, for people to just get an understanding of the diversity that City and Guilds offers. So thanks so much. So now we're just going to move into questions and answers. And actually, I've got 6 questions that have come in. So let me just get rid of this presentation if I can, just quickly. Sorry, just leave that on screen. Okay, so great. So 6 questions that have come in. Let's look at the first one. So Jason, the first question is for you. How long does it take to develop virtual learning in your experience, generally?
So, forgive there's next to me, forgive the background noise. It depends whether we have the 3D assets already. If we have, for example, we've built a hospital, we've built a house, so if we've got these sorts of things already in place, and it can be 2 to 3 weeks. We've done things in a couple of weeks. If, however, it's a brand new scenario, it could be a couple of months. So, for example, we're building health and social care at the moment. These are 2 areas we've not done before. That may take, as we're saying, to the end of April, a couple of months to build. So maximum 2 months, but becoming much quicker.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. And Victoria, question for you. How do City and Guilds qualifications support careers in the countries, but also, you know, across other countries in ASEAN, because there's usually quite a lot of migration, I guess, that happens across borders. So how do the City and
Absolutely.
Guilds quals enable that?
The City and Guilds qualifications really support global mobility. What we see from students and learners that complete and achieve our qualifications in ASEAN, they do tend to move to the UK, Singapore, Australia as a result of achieving our qualifications. They do support global mobility quite significantly through the recognition.
Thank you so much, Victoria. Jason, back to you. What are the topics that are coming in your virtual learning?
So we're working on health and social care and construction. Construction is everything from plastering, bricklaying, painting and decorating, all sorts of things around construction. But what we're really excited about going forward is things like renewable energy, electrical car charging, insulation, Internet of Things. So anything around smart and renewable energy, a big area of focus for us. Civil engineering, all sorts. But we really like to hear from people if there's anything that they have in mind that is needed. We'd love to hear from them and to kind of explore that further.
Thanks, Jason. Victoria, back to you for a question. How can I get my own programme registered with City and Guilds?
Okay, that would I could have a conversation with anyone that's interested in that. That would fall under our City and Guilds Assured or ILM Assured offer. And it is mainly it's a quality assurance process where we really it's a consultation process, so we would have to have a look at that, but it is quite a straightforward process.
Thanks, Victoria. Jason, back to you. What devices can I use to see your learning materials?
No, that's great. Any device. So it's iOS and it's PC compatible. Your Android or your iPhone or your laptop or tablet can be used to access material. That's the beauty of it. It's designed to be accessible by all.
Fantastic, thank you. And the last question that I have on the books at the moment is for Victoria. Can my centre, my training centre, register to deliver your qualifications?
Absolutely. Applications are open to any training providers. There is a quality assurance and application process, but again, it's straightforward. We'll have a regional quality team in place to support through that, but we're certainly open to interest in applications.
Great, thanks so much. Now, I don't have any more questions that have come in to me, and we don't seem to have any in the chat box. So I'm just going to call on our guests that are online. If there are any last minute questions, now's your chance. Otherwise, it's going to be down to me to thank our fantastic speakers today. Jason Holt, CBE, he's the co-founder and CEO of MKDL, and the details for Jason will be included in the PDF presentation pack. And Victoria Horrox, who is the head of East Asia for City and Guilds ILM. There are no questions, so I'm going to call the webinar a close for today. There will be a recording. So don't panic, everybody. Recording and PDFs of presentations. There are the same sessions again tomorrow, and for the rest of the week, we'll have 2 organisations from the UK showcasing some of their activity. Thank you very much indeed for joining us, and thank you again to our speakers.